Hi, everybody. Ann-Marie and I are back. If you didn't catch the first half, Ann-Marie is Business Launch Prep School student highlight, and I'm going to read her bio again. Ann-Marie was born in Jamaica. She's a true island girl. She went to college at Northern Caribbean University, where she received her undergraduate degree in business administration. She married her high school sweetheart, and together they settled in Brooklyn, New York. Her love for writing began after her marriage ended in divorce, and she looked for constructive ways to channel her anger and shame. Writing about the divorce was therapeutic and helped her overcome her emotional dilemmas. Realizing the progress in her own life, Ann-Marie wanted to write and share her story. And we're going to talk about her book called Partner with Your Process, 8 Steps to Grow Through Your Divorce. She's currently getting certified as a coach. She is a member and a student of Business Launch Prep School. And she is going to talk to us about her journey, how she's doing in the course, as well as her book. Welcome, Ann-Marie. Welcome. So tell us about yourself. Tell us what led you to writing your book.
Well, as you mentioned in the introduction, after my divorce, a friend encouraged me to start journaling. He said a good way to deal with emotions, of course. So I started doing that, and I journaled for several years. And then I thought it was just a thought. Maybe the Holy Spirit just said you could put this in writing and do it as a book. So I started my writing journey in 2017, and I'd stopped, I changed it, and then at the end of 2020, I just decided I'm going to complete it and have it.
You know what? You're going to help so many women out there because it's not easy. You know, I've never been through a divorce. I have been through a harsh breakup with a long-term significant other, but it's not easy having to go through that. And so it is nice to have someone who's out here looking out for, you know, your heart and sharing with you how you can get through it. Everyone, on the right side of your screen, you're going to see Partner with Your Process, 8 Steps to Grow Through Your Divorce. Ann-Marie publishes the book very soon. And you can find Ann-Marie on LinkedIn at Ann-Marie Allen, on LinkedIn. So Ann-Marie, share with us where you were before you joined Business Launch Prep School as it pertains to business.
So I'm going to use the analogy of puzzle. If like you see, I have always had the desire to go to business myself, but could not somehow put the different pieces together of finding creating a program. That was a little puzzling for me. And so I felt overwhelmed. I was excited about doing the business, getting in business for myself. But then just the whole idea of putting it together and getting started, that was a little, I'm going to use uncertain for me. And so getting in the program, it's kind of helped me to organize myself, take step by step. Because with the program, you go through step by step, you set the foundation. And so that has been very helpful to me on this journey.
And I really appreciate your participation in the class because you're on top of it. Like, we had a conversation a couple of weeks ago and you're like, well, I don't know what I'm going to put in my in my program. And I just have this book. And your book is your 8 steps. Your book is how you're going to take clients to another level. Share with us what your goal is in helping your clients. I know that sounds silly because you did mention that you are going to help them with the divorce, but can you give us a little bit more information of what your program is going to be about?
Well, my program is going to be basically out of my own story, with struggling in my divorce. And I always say I didn't have a voice. I didn't speak my truth. I always tried to be the peacemaker. And so I struggled with understanding myself. And my marriage basically was everything. I was living for my marriage. When it ended, I was at a point of where am I now?
Mm-hmm.
Running to a couple of friends and individuals who have had the same experience. And so working it out with God, I realized that there are other individuals that I can help. And I have a good friend who always say, God takes you through certain experiences, and once you have learned from that experience, it's time to reach back and up. And so it's just basically paying forward, reaching back to God to make the transformation.
Okay. Can you share with us the 8 steps that you take your clients through?
Well, one is depend on God wholeheartedly. And that's pretty obvious. You depend on God wholeheartedly. Talk about forgive. That's one. Letting go of the past, and moving forward. Developing full relationships. Being happy. Sharing your story. Sharing your story.
Mm-hmm.
Your story. And seeing your divorce, or it could be any tragedy, from a different perspective.
Okay. All right. And what in the process, what have you learned about yourself and you going through the steps yourself?
Well, one of the things that I never really understood, which was a big struggle for me, was they always say opposites attract. So
Yeah.
I am the introvert, the quiet, the reserve. My then husband was the extrovert. He was the leader. He made the decisions, and he was the cleric personality. And I really didn't understand that until years after, as an adult, I realized, okay, you have introverts and you have extroverts. And that was a main issue for us, because my weakness and his weakness just didn't get along together. And so
Mm-hmm.
one of the things in this, understanding my personality, appreciating who God made me. God made me introvert, and I've always wanted to be that more outspoken type of person. So I've learned to just appreciate who I am. This is who I am. I can't change it. It doesn't make sense to change it. So I have to learn to be comfortable in my own skin.
Yes, I agree. And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because too often society will have you think that you have to be like this overly outgoing person, and you got to be in everybody's face to succeed. And by you writing this book and working with other women who have been through divorce, you'll really be a safe haven for them to be who they are, regardless if they're extroverted, introverted. If they're really having a hard time, you'll definitely be there to help them along the way. So let's go back to BLPS really quickly. Tell us what your biggest gain is from the program.
My biggest gain is the model on business. Um, Sometimes sometimes you're aware that God exists. And when we have really big tragedy, or we're at the last resort, we turn to God and ask for help. But with the business meeting, as you'd explain, it's just everything. asking God, who do you want me to reach? How do I price my program? How do you want me to lay out the program? So it's a constant talking to God about your business. And I found that to be very helpful. The scripture did say to seek ye first, and then everything will be added to you. So that's my number one takeaway from it.
Thank you for that. And everybody, those of you who joined Business Launch Prep School, there is a co-instructor. She is a 2020 graduate and success story, LaTorsha Pilate, and she has her own program called All to Get Her. She instructs that first module, Business Meeting with God. And Ann-Marie is absolutely right. It takes some of the stress of running your business off of your shoulders, because you don't feel like you have to know everything. He'll lead you in the direction of working with specific people who can help you, of getting certain resources that you didn't even think about, of giving you ideas that were much better than what you had thought of, and leading you in the direction of actually claiming what you're worth and your knowledge. And he puts all of this inside of you so that you can go out and serve as well. So definitely, I love that module. Can you share with me some of the hardest parts of your experience in Business Launch Prep School?
I think the hardest part is the wealth consciousness.
Wealth consciousness. Mm-hmm.
And it has to do with, basically, because it's the mind change. It's the mind from the way you get money. I grew up hearing money is a country. I grew up hearing know a lot. You don't have something, just either forget about it and just be content with where you are. And so it becomes a part of who you are. I've seen my parents struggle with money, and I've experienced that in my own life. So it's now changing from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge. Yes.
Has it made you more hopeful in your earning potential and what you have to offer the world?
It has made me more hopeful. One of the things that I have been doing, remember in the module you have that letter, Dear Money?
Yes.
Whenever I get to those moments where I'll just write a letter, Dear Money, this is what I'm feeling, this is what I'm experiencing. God says he should be my shepherd. I do not have to worry about anything. So that's what I do gradually to change the way I see and think about money.
Okay, awesome. What is your advice to anybody who's on the fence about joining Business Launch Prep School?
Well, if you're on the fence, it means that you're considering it. You have made the final decision. I've joined other programs and I've been left on my own, and I do not work well that way. On the fence, I would say join the program. Not only you have accountability, but you'll also you do give us I would say, easy access to you, whether emails, we can call. I was surprised when you answered. You call, have group, you have one-on-one coaching, and that is very encouraging for me. If that is something that you're looking for, you're looking for structure, the foundation, this is a good program to get that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Ann-Marie, she called me the other day and I was like, what's wrong? I instantly assume that, like, when my clients call me, that there's something wrong, so I'm trying to fix it. So it was a funny conversation, but yes, I try to make it easier for my clients to reach me in the live and in the elite programs, in the mastermind as well, because developing your own business isn't easy. And sometimes you get stuck on things. And I know sometimes I take for granted that I got stuck in those areas too.
Right.
So, it's nice to have you guys feedback. I'm always looking for their feedback, because if there's something that I looked at it and other students might have looked at and said, oh, this is easy, and then someone else said, no, it's not that easy, I can always go and tweak it so it can make it easier for everybody and not just, some of the former group or the current group. So thank you for all of your feedback. Let's go back to your book. I want to talk more about your book, more about how you want to help your clients. So next week, or actually starting right now, Ann-Marie is going to be putting out content and information about her 8-step program, the 8 steps to grow through your divorce. Tell us some of the things that you will impart on your clients so that they can get the help they need. Well, tell us some of the details of your program. How long is it going to be?
Well, I'm putting my program together for 12 weeks. Mm-hmm. I do want to have one-on-one coaching and also organize for the group coaching. I'm looking into adding value, getting extra assessments and program to put into it. So my idea is, at the end of the program, I want each client to be able to, how should I put it? A new person, the way you sees herself as in a different light, a different person, and be able to help others. The whole idea is, I help you, you help someone else. And as I said earlier, God has taken to this point of transformation, and you can reach back and help someone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you're on the verge of having a divorce, if you're going through the divorce, if you've just finished your divorce and you want to talk to someone who's been through that, who's been successful getting through a divorce and is eager to help you, absolutely reach out to Ann-Marie. She is on LinkedIn at Ann-Marie Allen. It's easy to find her. Go ahead and message her and touch bases with her. Let her know that you're interested in having a conversation. Let her know that you're interested in her book that'll publish soon, because it's a hard time and you shouldn't have to feel like you are alone in the process, or that you don't have anybody to turn to or there's judgment. Ann-Marie is a non-judgmental person. She's really compassionate. She's really going to sit down and listen to what you have to say. She's really warm and welcoming and approachable. So I would definitely reach out to her and talk to her about becoming a part of her pilot that's coming out soon. What else would you like your clients to know, or your potential clients to know, about your program, 8 Steps to Grow Through Your Divorce?
Well, one thing I would, and I think I'm going to copy this from you, is having God at the base of everything. One of my struggles was, and for many years, I tried to do things on my own, tried to figure it out. And then I got to that point where I realized I can't do this by myself.
Yeah.
One of the 8 steps that I have in the book is talking about developing meaningful friendships. We can't do this solo, so we need friendships. And I always have a friend that says, you contact God first, and then He will lead the right friends and the right people into your life.
That's so true. That's so true. When you get Him involved, He'll introduce you to all of the nouns, people, places, and things that you need to, and give you the verbs that you need to move forward and be successful. So we're about to tie this up. Unless you have any other questions, Ann-Marie, we're going to tie this up. Do you want to share with us anything else?
Well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for having me on this.
You're welcome.
So appreciate the program, the ideas that you have put for allowing God to use it, that program together. It came at a time when I really needed help and structure to get through and to move forward. So I'm thankful, eternally thankful for that.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. Everyone, if you're watching this right now, you need to go to my website. The address is right here, lasco.thinkific.com/course/BLPS, or just look at the text right there. Go to the comment and press on the link so that you can learn more about Business Launch Prep School. There are 3 ways you can participate. You can be an on-demand student where you just get the curriculum and it's self-paced. This is great for the person who thrives on their own. You can go to, you can join the live. We have a live cohort that's coming up next week where you get live group coaching with me every week for 12 weeks. And you get one-on-one session every month. So that's 3 one-on-one sessions throughout the program. Or you can be an elite member and you work with me and only me every month for the 3 months. There's more than one way. I have payment plans. So if you're like, look, I don't know, my budget is a little tight, get on the phone call with me anyway. I do not pressure you. No means no. Yes means yes. And if you're interested, we can find a way to make it affordable for you to join the program so you can start your coaching practice. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave your questions, comments, or concerns in the comments. I will answer you later. And thank you, Ann-Marie, for participating, for coming on and sharing the book. And this is not the last time you guys are going to hear from her. We'll have her back on when the program is done.
All right, thank you very much.